The sun was dipping low over Willow Creek, painting the sky in bruised shades of purple and gold. When I found myself on my porch, cordless phone pressed to my ear, staring at a scene straight out of a fever dream. Two men security guards sent by the HOA were crawling across my gravel driveway like their legs had forgotten how to work. One, a burly guy with a logoed polo, dragged his right leg behind him, wincing with every inch. The other, leaner, with a face frozen in shock, clawed at the ground with his elbows, inching toward their white van parked at the edge of my property. Every few feet, he'd pause, gasp, and glance back not at me, but at a 200-pound ball of wool and muscle calmly grazing on a patch of dandelions. I took a steady breath, keeping my voice even for the 911 dispatcher. "This is Nathan Brooks at 472 Willow Creek Lane, Pine Hollow, Tennessee. I've got two adult males with what look like closed tibia-fibula fractures. They're conscious, in a lot of pain. No visible bone breaks, but they need help fast. Send an ambulance maybe too." The dispatcher's voice was calm, professional. "Any weapons present?" "Just my old baseball bat," I said. "It's for stray dogs, not for swinging. It's on the porch." A faint bleat came from the railing where my goat, Benny, leaned in. "Was that a goat?" she asked. "3 of them," I replied, "plus a ram. All harmless now." A pause. "Sir, is the animal that caused the injuries still nearby?" I glanced at Brutus, my ram, who was chewing contentedly, like a lawyer reviewing a case. "He's a domestic ram, under control. Just grazing." I raised my voice to the men. "Stay still, fellas. Help's coming. Don't try to move." The leaner one panted. "That thing's staring at me." "He's chewing," I said. "That's just his face's default setting." My border collies, Scout and Bella, sat alert at my sides, heads tilted like they were watching a drama unfold. The dispatcher clicked her keyboard. "Can you tell me what happened?" I looked from the crawling men to Brutus, then back to the phone. "Ma'am, it's a long story. One guy slipped on my dock stairs, wet wood, bad boots. The other, well, he had a disagreement with my ram. A dynamic one. A beat. A disagreement with your livestock?" "Yeah," I said, leaning against the porch post. "It happens. Paramedics on the way?" "Yes, sir. Sheriff's department too." "Are you in danger?" The men were now fumbling with the van's door, looking more like a comedy duo than a threat. Brutus scratched a horn against a post. "No, ma'am," I said. "The situation's handled. My livestock's pacified." It all started 6 months ago, in the spring of 2025, when I thought I'd found my slice of paradise. After 20 years as a rodeo medic, patching up cowboys who thought wrestling bulls was a personality trait, I wanted quiet. Willow Creek, a small lake in Pine Hollow, Tennessee, was perfect. 20 acres of rolling pasture, a sturdy house, a barn, and a deed with a golden clause, a perpetual farm use exemption, written in 1948, before the Willow Creek HOA existed. My land was an island of freedom in their sea of manicured lawns and identical mailboxes. My crew was small but tight. Brutus, a ram I'd raised from a lamb, gentle until provoked, with a head like a sledgehammer. Scout and Bella, border collies smarter than most people I'd met, and 3 dwarf goats, Benny, Gus, and Pip, who mostly caused chaos and looked cute doing it. My only real human connection was my friend Caleb, a city tech whiz who thought my ranch was a mosquito-ridden outpost, but got why I needed it. "The goats unionized yet?" he'd joke over the phone. "Still in talks," I'd say, watching Pip chew a boot. For a year, life was bliss. I worked as a farrier, shoeing horses for local farms, coming home to sunsets over the lake, a cold beer in hand, and the dogs at my feet. The HOA was just a newsletter I burned in my fireplace. Then Eleanor Hayes became HOA president. Word spread fast she was a control freak who wanted every blade of grass to salute her. One April morning, her silver SUV rolled up to my property line. She stepped out, blonde hair sharp as a blade, holding a clipboard like a weapon. She eyed my weathered fence, my functional dock, my barn that dared to look like a barn. Then she saw Brutus, staring back with those eerie horizontal pupils. She scribbled something, nose wrinkled, and drove off. I thought she was just a busybody. I was wrong. A week later, Eleanor marched up my driveway with 2 polo-clad goons, holding a map like it was a royal decree. "Mr. Brooks," she said, voice syrupy but cold. Your fence and dock are on HOA common land. They need to go. I showed her my deed, pointing to the exemption. My property runs to the high water mark. This is mine. Her smile tightened. HOA bylaws supersede old deeds. You have 30 days to comply, or we'll remove them and bill you. Before I could stop her, her men planted orange flags 20 feet inside my fence. You're trespassing, I growled. This is private property. She smirked. The common area isn't yours. I called the sheriff. A deputy came, looked at the flags, sighed. Civil matter, he said. Get a lawyer. That night, a drone buzzed over my pasture. I caught it on camera, logged it, and told Caleb. She's not just annoying, I said. She's up to something. The violation letters started piling up, daily fines, legal jargon. I filed them in a folder labeled evidence. I dug through county records, found a 1948 survey map confirming my boundary with a granite marker at the northwest corner. I hammered no trespassing signs next to her flags. Then, on a rainy May afternoon, the white van returned. Eleanor stood by my mailbox, arms crossed, as two guards, let's call them Tom and Jerry, grabbed a crowbar and bolt cutters. They were here to tear down my fence. I grabbed my phone, set it to record, and picked up my bat, not to swing, but to make a point. You're trespassing, I called, voice steady, camera rolling. This is my land. Leave. Tom smirked, hefting the bolt cutters. HOA maintenance, old man. Jerry headed for the dock, thinking he'd flank me. Big mistake. The drizzle had slicked the dock stairs with algae. Jerry's boots hit the top step, slipped, and he went down hard, shin cracking against the edge. The sound was like a gunshot, tibia and fibula, no question. He screamed, clutching his leg. Tom froze, bolt cutters dropping, then bolted across the pasture. Bigger mistake. Brutus, grazing by the barn, saw a threat running toward his flock. He lowered his head, hooves thundering, and hit Tom's leg like a freight train. The crack was quieter, but just as sickening. Tom crumpled, leg bent wrong. 5 seconds, and it was over. Scout and Bella didn't even flinch, just watched like they'd seen it all before. Brutus trotted off to graze. I dialed 911, gave first aid, splinted Tom's leg with sticks in my belt, and kept them calm until paramedics arrived. Sheriff Daniels, a grizzled vet, watched my video on the spot. He glanced at Brutus, grazing innocently, and almost smiled. Never seen a ram play security, he said. Stay here, keep him calm. That night, a storm roared through, tearing a flap off the goat shed. I freed Pip's horn from a panel, tied down the flap, and spotted a kayak drifting loose. I towed it back to a kid on a neighbor's dock. Tell your dad he owes my goats carrots, I joked. Back on shore, I found a drone stuck in a pine, SD card intact. Then, by the shoreline, the storm had unearthed a granite markera cross in a circle, exactly as the 1948 survey described. My property line was undeniable. I called Caleb's lawyer buddy, Ethan Cole, and sent him everything. Deed, survey, photos, videos, emails. He was ecstatic. This is a slam dunk, he said. Fraud, conspiracy, trespassing. Caleb's cousin, Dylan, an IT guy, dug up dirt. Eleanor was colluding with a developer, Victor Grant, to steal my shoreline for a condo project. Emails showed her planning to neutralize me for a 10% cut and a penthouse. Ethan filed for a court-ordered survey, which confirmed the marker. The trap was set. The HOA meeting in June was a circus. The clubhouse was packed, whispers buzzing like static. Eleanor tried to spin me as a violent hermit with killer animals. Ethan stood, voice like steel. Before you vote on her illegal lien, he said, let's talk facts. He showed the deed, the survey, the marker photos, the video of the guard's trespass and Brutus's takedown. Gasps and chuckles filled the room. Then he dropped the bomb. Eleanor's emails with Victor. The crowd erupted. Sheriff Daniels walked in with a warrant, bagging her laptop. Eleanor's face collapsed as deputies let her out. Charges followed: wire fraud, conspiracy. The HOA crumbled, Victor vanished, and a new president, my neighbor Lyle, issued an apology and amended the covenants to honor my deed. By July, life was calm again. I sat on my dock, beer in hand, Scout and Bella dreaming at my feet, goats bleating softly. Brutus nudged my elbow, demanding scratches. The lake was mine, the flags gone, the truth carved in stone. I'd fought with signs, cameras, and a stubborn ram, and won. But questions linger. Was I reckless letting Brutus roam free? Should I have swung that bat to scare them off sooner? Was Eleanor a villain or just a pawn in a greedy game? Should HOAs have power over historic deeds? Drop your thoughts below. Let's hear what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe for more stories where truth fights back.